All right, so as you can see, I'm wearing a wig. Sometimes I just get sick and tired of my hair being the way that it is and not being able to do different fun things with my hair. So I decided to wear a wig today, and I wanted to look pretty. So, anyways, I wanted to tell you about my super shitty experience at orientation for the CNA position at the nursing home slash rehab center. Um, First of all, when I got there, the secretary at the desk told me to sit down and wait. So I sat and waited. I got there maybe 10 minutes before orientation was supposed to start, so I figured I would have to sit and wait anyway. Um, and then one other girl showed up, and it was just me and her at orientation the entire day. And she was not hired for a CNA position, she was hired for an LPN position. So we were basically doing the same things. We were watching videos and everything. The executive director started a video and he's like, it's about an hour long. I'll come back and check on you. So it was about an hour and a half, close to 2 hours before he came back. He switched the video. Now, the whole time, like, it was me and this nurse who was also doing orientation um, in a room full of a CNA class that was doing clinicals. So we could barely hear the movies or videos that we were supposed to be watching. And it's like really a turnoff when it seems like you're a burden to a facility because I just felt like we were not supposed to be there. Like um, we weren't supposed to be bothering, the executive director or whatever. And that was flag number one. Flag number two was being stuck in a room full of CNA students who are being so loud when you're trying to watch like important stuff like compliance videos for like the compliance policies of the facility, going over like lifting and repositioning and using mechanical lifts and stuff like that. Um, Also like dementia videos that we were supposed to be watching. At one point, she and I were like just talking to each other because we watched the same video 3 times in a row. I kid you not. It was like on the fourth time when he finally came in and he's like, oh, did anybody else come in? Someone else was supposed to come in. And we're like, no. And this video was like close to an hour long. And so we watched it, 3 full times, and then it had restarted over again. And we didn't know where anybody was. Nobody was like walking through the hallway, and we were like off to the side in a unit that was empty. There was no residents or anything in this unit. So it was an empty unit. And yeah, so we were off to the side with this CNA class who was doing clinicals. And she and I were just talking to each other, and it was really nice having somebody there to talk to, because if I had been there alone and going through this, I probably would have just walked out instead of waiting until like 4 o'clock to walk out. I decided I will not return to this facility just because of the way that I was treated, and I just felt like, we were a burden. He said, don't judge us based on our orientation today, please. And it's like, I feel like you should judge someone based on their orientation process, because if you don't even care enough to pay attention to new employees who have been there sitting in this room for hours on end, and you just you don't care enough to even come and check on them, make sure that, we're understanding the information in the videos, to ask us if we have any questions. And this girl who was one of the CNA students, she told us that every day that they have been there doing clinicals, there's been people there doing like new hire orientation who sit there for hours watching the same videos over and over and over again, and nobody comes, nobody explains things to them. And this was my very first day at orientation, and the nurse who was in the orientation with me, she had actually been there for the past 2 days. That was supposed to be her very last day of orientation, and she was supposed to start work the next day, being today that I'm recording this. I just thought that it was so ridiculous, and I felt like, they didn't value my time. They didn't value, anything about me or that nurse. And it just like, even the CNAs that were walking by in the hallways, like they seem to be very rude and just very unprofessional. And I just don't think that it's a facility that I would ever want to work at or like even be associated with. And then come to find out also, as this nurse and I were talking, she told me that on her first day of orientation, someone told her that that facility is actually being closed, or not necessarily closed, but the company that owns it is selling it because they're trying to get rid of like all of their nursing homes and rehab centers, and they're trying to just go into like home health and not do long-term care anymore from a facility. They're trying to do home health care. So that's also a red flag because coming in as a new employee, I don't know if my job is going to be safe. So do I want to give up the job security of the nursing home where, you know, I've been an employee for almost a year now, to go into a situation where the property is being sold and I don't know what my future has in store for me? I just feel like this kind of stuff is stuff that should have been disclosed before I was even offered the position, to then, you know, allow me to make an informed decision on what I should do and if that's something that I'm willing to walk into. Um, I don't know. It's just like, it just seems very, very odd. And, you know, we asked the CNAs if any of them would want to work at this facility after they're done with their training, and every single one of them in that class said no. And that is also a very big red flag to me, because if you're going to a facility and you're doing clinicals and you would not want to work there ever, and your first words to me are with a stone, like a stone face, where you're just like, no, no. And you say, good luck. And you can tell that they were very, very serious about it. It scares me and it makes me just want to get up and run away. So I don't know. I need to call corporate because I don't even think that they understand what's going on at this facility. I don't think they understand that the reason why nobody is staying at this facility is because that they don't treat people right. And not only that, but come to find out, yesterday when I went, I found out that the day before, the director of nursing had quit. They have no assistant director of nursing. There's no HR on the property at all. It's all handled by corporate, who are off site. They're like in Indianapolis, which is over an hour away from here. And, you know, it's just a whole lot of mess that I just don't feel like I want to get into. So yeah, that was the mess that was my orientation yesterday, and I just had to share it with you guys because I don't know. I'm honestly considering whether I still want to work in the nursing field after the experience I had yesterday, because that was just ridiculous. But anyways, that's all I have for right now. I'm sorry this video is a little bit longer, and I will talk to you guys again soon.